This is the 3-step system to becoming the best known local business here in Wilmington. And most local businesses don't need more leads. They need more attention. And what's great about this is that once you start showing up where people are actually looking, that's when they can actually hire you, because that's when they know that you exist in the first place. And if your ideal clients are just scrolling on Instagram, just like you and I are right now, then you should just be showing up there too. So if you want to win, you just have to show up where the attention already is. So let's dive into it. Here's the 3-step system and exactly how you can do this for your local business. So step 1 here is to drive local traffic with a simple local ad. Because remember, if nobody sees you, they cannot hire you. And what most local businesses are doing now is they're relying solely on referrals or SEO or just other outdated marketing, and they're just hoping for people to magically find them. And the problem with this is that visibility is the first step. And if you don't have a predictable way to get visibility for your business right now, it's going to be an uphill battle for you. So what we do is we just start by running a simple local ad that clearly says who you help, how you help, and why it actually matters to them. And the key with this is that you do not want to sell anything in that ad. And if you're saying right now, well, Nick, what's the point of the ad? Isn't the ad to sell things? The ad is just to get local traffic to your profile. Once they land on your profile, they're going to watch all the rest of your content, and that's what's going to do the heavy lifting for you. So do not try to sell anything in your ad, because if you try to sell in your ad, people's defenses automatically go up, they tune you out, they scroll past you, they don't listen anymore. But if you take this approach where you don't try to sell anything in your ad, boom, you're going to get people to your page, they're going to check out the rest of their content, and they're going to see exactly what you're all about. So what we do here is we target this ad hyper locally, only to your specific area. So if you service people in Wilmington in, say, a 20-mile radius, then you can just target your ad to only show up in that area. And what's really cool about this is you can get very, very specific with where your ads show up. So let's say you have the exact latitude and longitude coordinates of the place where you want to target your advertising. You can absolutely do that. But like I mentioned, we typically recommend around a 10 to 20 mile radius of your city. It just depends on where your service area is. So if you service outside of a 20-mile radius, you can increase it up to 50 miles. So just know that you have that flexibility when it comes to where your ads actually show up. And the great thing about this is that when it comes to budget, you can start super small. Even anywhere from $20 to say $30 a day is going to get you seen by a couple thousand people in your area every single day. And just realize, once you start running these ads and you start booking some appointments in and closing some initial clients, you can just reinvest that profit from that client back into your ad spend, and you can keep scaling systematically, predictably, essentially. So the goal with this is really just to get real local people landing on your page every single day. And once that happens, you're going to see things like this over here, where you're going to have videos that get tons and tons of views. And keep in mind, the views aren't really the metric that we're looking at for success here, but it's really just to show what happens once you get people who are in your area to consistently see you time and time again. You'll see engagement with tons of likes and comments. And again, that's not really that important. What's important here is how people are saving the content and they're sharing the content. So they're sharing it to other people. They're saving it to come back to it later. This is just validating that when people see you time and time again, not only are they going to recognize you and your face and your business, but they're going to share it with other people, and they're going to share it with friends and family that need the services that you provide. And as part of the strategy here, like I mentioned, because these ads are so hyper targeted, you're only showing up in these locations where you can actually service with your business. So keep in mind, you're gonna get tons of followers and tons of people coming to your page every single day. And these are people in your local area that can actually buy your services. They actually need your help. They're looking for these services every single day. So if you can just show up where they already are, you're gonna be able to generate business from this. So that's step 1, like I mentioned, is the simple local ad. Moving on to step 2 is where you're actually building trust and booking conversations with these people. So keep in mind, when you come to step 2 here, this is all about building trust, like I mentioned, but you want to do it with the right type of content. So if we take a look here at some of these profiles, some of these examples, is there anything that you notice that is similar amongst all these profiles? When you look at the initial feed here, the main thing is just showing your face in your content. And what a lot of people are doing right now is they're maybe just posting random content. They don't have much of a strategy. They're jumping on trends. They're not showing their face in the content. And that's the real problem here, is that people buy from people. They aren't just buying from random logos. So this example here is a logo, but every other one, this is a logo as well for the auto detailing. But look at these examples here. They're showing the actual business owner's face right here in the profile picture. So immediately someone is able to build trust and just see who the actual owner is and see who the actual person is that they'll be talking to once they decide to book those services. So building trust is huge when it comes to this content. Something that helped me a ton was just thinking of your profile as like your new website. So when people land on your profile from your ad, they're going to start looking at your content and learning all the information that your website would contain already. So what you can do is actually just pull your website up and just record video content of you saying all the information that's on that website, and then go post it on your Instagram, because that's where the attention is now. People are on Instagram, they're scrolling, they're watching reels, they're watching videos. So you can just make sure that you're showing up in all those places. And as a bonus, if you want, you can actually start answering commonly asked questions that you get, and also showing client results and testimonials on your profile. So this example here is a great example of this, because this business owner is showing an actual client testimonial of a client that they have worked with, actually talking about her experience working with the business. So that's a great way when someone lands on your profile to actually see what it's going to look like when they work with your business. And keep in mind here, the goal isn't to go viral with this content, right? It's not to be like an influencer or follow any trends or do anything like that. The goal is really just to build trust through this content. So it makes it so simple. All you have to do is get on camera and just answer questions that people are already asking. All you have to do is just document the things that you're already doing. You're already helping clients on a daily basis. You're already going to meetings and having conversations with people about what you do. So if you can just document that and record it and post it online, now anytime somebody sees your ads and they land on your profile, they can just consume that content and learn the information that they need to learn before they're able to make a buying decision. So that's the goal here, is just building trust with that content. And the most effective way to do that is to just get your face on camera, show your personality, show that you're a real person, and actually build that relationship with those people. So moving on, step number 3. This is the fun part. This is where you're actually able to close deals and schedule appointments and actually talk to people that are coming in from your ads. So remember, the ads are what is getting you leads and getting you visibility. And then when you have your content and you start conversations with those leads, that is what is going to end up turning into your clients. So what most people do right now is, again, they're just posting randomly, they're throwing stuff out there, and they're hoping that people just message them and ask to work with them. But if you aren't treating social media as an actual sales channel yet, then everybody else who's doing it is going to take all of your business. And that's what's crazy, is that this hasn't really caught on yet. Not a lot of people here in Wilmington are following a strategy like this and getting on camera and actually showing their face. So as soon as you do that, you just immediately stand out from everybody else who isn't doing that, which is great because it's a huge opportunity for you. So as long as you take action, you will be able to get all the benefits from it. So keep in mind, when it comes to this stage, once somebody follows you or messages you, they're basically just telling you that they're interested and they already trust you. So the goal here is just respond to people quickly, be confident, and just be relational versus transactional. So keep in mind, these are all local people that are finding you from your ads. So these are just people in your community. These are people that you'll see out and about, that you'll see them in the restaurants, you'll see them in the grocery store, you'll bump into them. So just be relational. You don't want to be that guy that everyone says, oh, he's just the salesy guy, he's just always trying to sell something. Just be relational, just be a real person, be social. It's social media, and then the word will spread, and people will catch on and realize, oh man, he's just trying to help people. He's really beneficial. He's always adding value to things. That's the type of reputation that you want to have. So keep in mind, the more consistently that you do this, the more predictable that your pipeline gets. Because remember, people are finding you every single day from these ads. Because when you're running them in such a targeted area, you're going to be showing up on everybody's phone in your area. So people are going to be seeing you. So just stay consistent with your follow-ups and be responsive to people when they ask you questions. And that's what's going to lead to more business for you down the road. So as a bonus here, I just want to talk about why Google ads, Facebook ads, all these other options are just slowly dying out when it comes to the end of 2025 and almost 2026. So what we're seeing right now with a lot of people that are still pouring their budget into these Google ads and other things is that they're very expensive to rank on. So if you're not in that top 1, 2, or 3 position on Google Ads, then it's going to be really, really hard to actually show up and get clicks on your listing. And what's crazy about that is that you're not really building much trust from those Google Ads because you're just showing up as a link. And what ends up happening is that you just end up competing on price because everybody who searches on Google can just go click on each of those links and they can call the business and be like, hey, how much does this cost? And at that point, they're just price shopping. So you don't even have the chance to justify your value and have a real conversation and diagnose the problem that your potential lead is experiencing to be able to justify the value of your service. So that's something we're seeing a lot with business owners who are only relying on Google Ads. When it comes to Facebook ads, the standard lead forms or any of those other kind of outdated ways of generating leads from Facebook ads is that they're also very low trust. So there's not a lot of branding behind it because again, with Facebook, it's become very transactional. So when people see an ad, they just want to click and they just want to know what the price is. So they're not even going to entertain that conversation of getting a good quality service that they value that's going to last for a long time. So if that's the type of service that you provide, it's going to be hard to justify that just through the Facebook ads alone. So that's kind of the advantages of Instagram and this entire strategy here is that you're building your brand and you're also building your pipeline at the same time because people are following you from these ads. So they're just going to continue to see your content and they're going to continue to see everything that you're doing. So once you continue to put content out there about what you're already doing, they're just going to keep building trust with you over time. And what's great about that is that it creates content that are now assets that keep working for you long after you stop spending on ads. So if you run ads for an initial period of time and you book yourself out and you're fully booked and you can't take on any more clients and you turn those ads off, keep in mind you've still built an audience of local people that are now following your page and they're seeing all the content that you're posting and everything that you're doing. So even if you turn those ads off, you're still nurturing an audience of people that will potentially end up buying from you when they're ready. So that's what differentiates you from your competition, just by showing up on camera, having an actual strategy to get that content in front of the right people and generate leads from that actual content. So action items as a whole, just have this system where the ads are what is bringing local people to your page. Use the content on your page to actually build trust and build that long-term value. And then over time, you'll find you can easily generate buyers and actual clients from that content that you're posting. So at this point in time, if you need help with this, if this is something you're interested in learning more about and implementing into your business, just go ahead and click the first link down in the description and we can chat and see if it's a good fit to work together. And if you're not ready for that, just click the video up here where I go more in depth on the exact strategy and how you can implement it yourself into your own business.